The views and opinions expressed on From the Mouths of Madness are that of the panel and not of the Geeks Under the Influence Network or their sponsors. Listeners, beware. Coming straight from the Mouths of Madness, I'm Lowdown. With me as always is
F.U. Hunter. What's up, you corn-loving bitches?
He who walks behind the rows, cock-sucking motherfuckers. Wait, I can't talk about kids like that. I retract that statement. That was fucked up.
Yeah, but you can gas the shit out of them.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
apparently.
God.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't those kids. All right. I can't dig into this shit. Before we dig into this episode, please, I would ask you to like, comment, share, subscribe, rate, review, all the stuff across all the socials. It greatly helps out the podcast. It takes you less than a second. Thank you. Well, maybe 5 seconds. Tonight on Killer or Filler, we're going to be talking about the 1984 Stephen King film adaptation of his short story, Children of the Corn, from Night Shift, versus the 2020 remake that didn't come out on Shudder till last year of 2022.
Shudder exclusive?
It's a Shudder exclusive, but it's actually apparently was filmed in 2020.
Yeah.
Anyway, film Children of the Corn that I don't even recognize the Stephen King story.
Well, it has children, and it's got corn in it.
And it's got He Who Walks Behind the Rows. That's...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
all right. Like, I'm sorry, folks. I don't think that this one might get bloody because we have a new reigning champ for worst remake. I'm not even like I can't hide it in this.
Yes, with very similar things to the one that it just beat out, which is the stuff we didn't give a shit about. They went, let's just show all of that.
Yeah, like who fucking cares?
Obviously, up till now, The Fog was it. And you know what?
So did we decide? Was it The Fog or was it Poltergeist?
I think it was the Fog.
Okay.
Yeah. Because The Fog went, you know all that she didn't really care about with the ghosts, the Fog Pirates? We're going to show you all of that, like, stretched out into the movie. I didn't give a fuck about that.
Well, the thing about The Fog was that all we knew is what John Carpenter gave us.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, that other shit didn't even exist. So it's not more of the shit that we didn't want. It was shit that we just wasn't there.
Main character that is a ghost at the end.
It turned into a love story. Anyway,
yeah,
so this movie follows suit with, like, I mean, the original one was so simple.
Let's have some happy memories
couples
first.
On a road trip, you know. I don't know where the fuck they're going.
Well, we get the first 10 minutes where they're just
awesome
like
kills.
Yeah, hey, kids are like, you know what? Fuck adults, let's kill them.
Yeah,
and most of it takes place in the diner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just suggest it happened everywhere.
That meat slicer.
Yeah.
God.
Poison the coffee, cut some people up. You know,
scythes and all that stuff. Yeah. Butcher knives. They just mutilated all the adults after church.
And you just suggest everything else in town.
Oh, didn't it show Malachi as like an altar boy after church let out in the beginning?
I think so, yeah.
Courtney Cox.
That dude, he's been in tons of movies after that, but always Malachi.
He's always Malachi.
Yeah, he's always Malachi. I'm pretty sure he was in The Burbs, right?
He was in The Burbs.
Yeah.
He was he had the weird sideburn things and and he was in the shitty what is that Halloween movie we fucking...
Oh, God. Candy corn?
Candy corn. Yeah, he was a sheriff.
Yeah.
In that tire fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you get that. You get the couple. You get a kid trying to escape who gets killed in the corn. There's this serious religious cult feeling where these kids found, like, they took the imagination of children, and someone is a narcissist, which would be, what's the fucking short... Yeah, Malachi. What's the fuck's his name?
God
with
damn
a J or something.
God damn it.
Isaac.
Yes, thank
you. And like he just like manipulates the fuck out of all the other kids.
Yeah.
And so there's like this weird like grooming like aspect to the story, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just them hunting down the adults the entire time and weird corn shit.
Well, our two adults, because all the other adults,
the two adults.
It takes like what, a few years later or a couple years. How long is it after they kill the adults?
I don't think they tell you.
Yeah,
the time frame.
But they've had enough time to put corn fucking everywhere. In the town. Yeah,
everywhere, every store window, every abandoned house.
They just carry around.
Where the fuck are they living? In the corn?
I guess in the corn.
In the barn? Because like they never show like
they must carry it around because at one point our two main characters, they come back to the car and it's like corn eyes. It's just corn
covered in
so
corn.
they must like carry around a sack of corn.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, hey, this new car doesn't have corn on it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Gotta stuff the engine bay with corn.
But you
Corn
kind of
stalks.
buy these kids are in a cult and like they fucking stab the dude. Like it's, you know, they fucking kidnap they knock the fuck out at Lynn Hamilton.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Fucking
They go kind of Wicker
Terminator.
Man on her though. Like it's like they want to use her as a sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And a burning.
But I'm just saying
cross.
you kind of take what they're doing seriously as in I know they're kids, but they're like they fuck her up.
There's
They
a
fuck
lot
him
of
up.
psycho kids and 2 adults, so they could yeah. I mean, unless you've got something they can take out a bunch at once, so they could potentially kill you.
And
know?
they suggest a lot of the he who walks like
Behind the rose, yeah.
yeah. There's
And they have the little at the end when they're destroying the
Oh,
cornfield.
man.
They have that mound
yeah.
go through the corn.
Which
That's all you get, and
that's
I
all
like
you get.
that. In
Well,
the book, that's all you get. You never see
you
him.
get a little bit of the 80s.
CGI explosion shit with like
the-
that weird face in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, before that, the sparkly, whatever, digital lava that jumps on him.
Yeah. That's right.
But you're like, it's the 80s. Fuck it, whatever.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
That's all you get. And in the book, you don't know what he looks like. You never in the short story, you never get a description of.
It's enjoyable. I don't. It's like a good every once in a while watch.
Yeah, it's something I'll throw on while I'm doing something in the house
I-
around the roughly end of summer-ish. Like I just watched it, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. So it's something I might watch in August, kind of prepping for the Halloween
I
season.
honestly hadn't watched
It's
it
harvest.
in fucking years.
It's
so
corn, harvest,
Yeah.
fall. You can kind of throw it in there, and it's something I can put on while I'm doing chores.
I still am not sure why there's like fucking 9 sequels to this bitch.
I have not
Like,
seen any of them.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wasn't like, man, how much can we push this story into a shitload of other movies?
You know, it's like the guys that created Saw must have taken notes. It's like, hey, let's just do what Children of the Corn did to make a fuckload of Saw
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, just different ways to torture. Yeah.
It's just and
like-
this fucking
I'm like,
remake.
look, there's one battle royale where kids kill other kids.
Mhm.
Fucking love it.
Yep.
Just one.
Just one.
Not like we're on 8 or 9 now of the same concept.
Yeah. But I mean, all in all, it's an enjoyable story. The acting's not horrible.
Yeah.
I
I actually like the dude in it because he's so kind of like fucking kids.
He's kind
But
of a
then they
douche.
stab him. But they stab him. And he's like, oh fuck, this is for real.
You little
Like up
shits.
to that point, he's like, we're the fucking adults. What are these fucking kids doing? And they stab him. He's like, oh, they know how to use weapons. Well, this changes everything.
Well, fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, but he's kind of douchey just throughout
Oh,
the
he's so
entire
douchey.
movie, man.
Yeah.
Like, and she's so like bobbleheaded. It's like stereotypes.
And the end of the movie when they're like, okay, we survived and we saw some crazy ass shit, and the 2 kids that were not really part of the cult but they're like, hey, how about you come back with us and you can stay with us. And it's kind of like this happy-go-lucky ending. The kids' parents have been murdered, and like they're like, yeah, and everybody's kind of laughing. I'm like, I don't know if this is one of those kind of
No.
yay, we did it sitcom endings. Yeah,
Like, I don't
Like,
know. I don't
maybe
know.
more than a month. And then it cuts to like laugh track and then pause. Like people like 50 plus people were murdered here. People.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So I mean, they keep it in the remake. They keep it to a small town. The only thing I can give the remake is, even though there's technically more murders and deaths in the original, it all happened at the beginning. This one kind of has a couple cool deaths.
sort
Do
of
the horse thing. That was kind of cool.
I guess the split in half by the end. I mean, I'm sorry, cornfield creature. I get them mixed up because
Yeah.
that was cool for a second, and then the CGI blood was like, no, that's not cool. And you're like,
How about the CGI creature? Ugh.
that's what I said. The end,
Yeah.
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just
The
take
end. Oh,
the
the
fucking
end. Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Just take the fucking tree and just cover him and fucking corn. And like, I'm waiting for him to start talking.
But you can like see through him. It's like they took blades of grass and corn stalks and like.
the 80s one at least said, let's just suggest what it might look
No, we
like.
got a whole ending
We
of like
gotta-
10 to 15 minutes
God.
of that shit.
But where the first one is like, okay, intro, all adults get fucking murdered. Here you go. Most of the movie is slowly killing a bunch of adults till then at the very end, we sort of have where the town is all the dead adults. And
yeah,
just
but it's a
this one
slow
sister.
thing, and they have to add a fucking reason where we got taken advantage of by these chemical plants back in the day, and they said that they wouldn't affect the soil, and then the corn went dark, and it's rotten.
Well, we get this
and
thing
then,
at the beginning where the kid comes out of the cornfield and then immediately stabs. It's like a children's home, like a
you don't
home.
see who he stabs. He just goes in somewhere and
Yeah,
stabs
he stabs.
somebody.
But then it's a hostage situation, and the sheriff's only solution is to bring in a hose of chemicals and murder all the kids. Apparently, all the kids were working together to hold like 2 adults hostage.
Mm-hmm.
So the sheriff's solution is bring in this hose and just kill all the kids. And then he goes, this might affect my re-election campaign. You're like, or any other solution besides murdering these kids. So that shows the motivation where the rest of the town's kids are like, this dude fucking like had no problem killing these kids because they were rebelling against the adults. So might have to,
Yeah.
But there's no like, they get confused if that's the reason or all the kids go in the cornfields and get possessed by this thing and then get motivated to murder the shit out of adults.
Yeah, but they don't seem possessed. And this little girl annoys the shit out of me.
Well, the brother kind of seems like he's cool, but then he walks into the field and then he's like, I'm going to go with Eden, who's the main chick, the main little girl who, whatever. Like,
who the fuck is...
She's not prophesizing or anything. She's just like, adults bad, kids cool. And they went, yeah, she makes a good point.
Yeah, but...
and that's it.
That's it. And it's because in the same town hall meeting, they decide to... The government has an option to buy all their corn and just dispose of it.
Yeah.
And the town's like, okay. And the little girl's like, no, not my corn. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
That's what sets her the fuck off, is don't destroy my corn.
Yeah.
Even though they literally said the corn is rotten now because of all the shit that happened to the soil from whatever chemicals that plant that is the next town over did.
I'm never going to watch this again, so maybe you have to help me. But did they just take out all of the cars? Because I know they knocked out the cell tower, but did they literally just say, like, nobody is like, I noticed my neighbors have just been murdered by those kids. I should get in a car and drive. Because there are cars in this town.
Yeah.
But nobody thinks about getting... You know what's stronger than kids, even with a knife or a weapon? A car.
A ton vehicle?
Yeah.
Something that weighs a ton that can go really fast.
Nobody picks up on this.
No, nobody
does. And that's the thing. With the slow burn, you start to, like, notice stuff like this. Like,
well, there's cars, but there's also horses?
Yeah.
Remember, she's like, oh, you need to go to the edge of town, and remember, little girl, I guess, would ride through the town with people on a horse and shit. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, I'm sorry, folks, if I seem disjointed. It was so hard to focus on this fucking movie.
Was just
it is so bad.
Yeah,
it's so
it's just
fucking
like
bad.
Kill an adult, talk about some shit, kill an adult, and there's signs there that are so blatantly obvious, like before they decide to attack the adults, where they're this giant fucking like open grave with and covering it in blood, and all the kids are covered in blood, and the older the sister that's kind of the rational one is like, what are you doing? They're like, just painting the walls with blood. She goes, okay, well, that's weird, but okay.
Sure.
But doesn't suggest anybody,
as long as you're having fun.
Hey,
That's what
all
matters.
these kids are fucking cutting open what's easy first sign of a serial killer? Like torturing and killing animals.
Yes.
There's like 6 or 7 kids all doing that, and this older sister's like, yeah, kids be kids. Yeah, whatever. Just not even like a heads up to anybody.
Well, she's all worried about leaving town, remember? She doesn't care. She's just trying to get out of
just
town.
Just to kind of pass the word. Yeah. Hey, I'm still heading out, but they're murdering their shit out of like every like animal and painting blood. You might want to look into that, maybe. Sheriff that already kills kids. And sheriff that already has murdered like 15 kids. Yeah. These kids are literally like with weapons, slaughtering animals and painting blood. You might want to direct your attention. No, never mind. Yeah,
we did loosely mention that, but so this sheriff, I forget why they did it, but they ended up hooking up an exhaust.
Was it the chemical they use on the corn?
That's what it was. Yeah, it was the chemical on the corn. Yeah, and they just pumped it into a schoolhouse.
That's what I'm saying, because of the hostage situation.
Because of the hostage situation, and
it was a schoolhouse. It was like a home for kids.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was home for kids.
Have a small town And there's all
these kids. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, are there other towns that are like, hey, can we just bring them to your place?
So, well, we figured, you're a town over, and we used your court to fuck in, so I dropped her off to have a baby.
They won't rebel against the adult. Oh, shit.
There we go.
Yeah,
maybe that's why. Maybe even if they added that to the story, where it's actually because of the next town over, it would have been more interesting. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, here's the kids from another town, and that's why we kill, because this other town's cursed or something. Like, that would have been more interesting than this bullshit.
Now we get the suggestion. Eden, who's the main leader, the Isaac of this one, is
all 4 foot
talking to the corn and starts getting like, "Oh, you make a good point, corn.
They want to destroy you, corn. I'm sorry."
Yeah, and she's petting the corn. So like, and you do get like early on like corn arms,
dude. No,
and I'm not making that up.
Yeah,
literally.
No.
And you're like, okay, whatever. But the OG, it's again like under the ground. You see a rumbling. You see the wind and the corn open up. But you just suggest it. This one goes, no, man, we've got the fucking computers. Let's show you the actual creature. And again, it looks like the goddamn Ents from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, they look better.
In corn,
they look better.
And it looks fucking
They look stupid.
Stupid as shit. And you don't need to do it. You don't need to.
All right, so I will give the creature one thing. When there's that close up when he's over top of the sister and the mouth opens up, there's like 4 layers that open up. That one shot was cool. That was it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so there's like the mouth covering, and then there's another like that's a lower part of the mouth, and then there's another thing that opens up and parts from the sides, and then there's just teeth everywhere. That looked cool. That was it.
Are those teeth or are those kernels?
They were sharp.
I'm just saying he's supposed to be made all of fucking corn, so he did like develop teeth in the middle of all that.
Oh yeah,
And I've got a complaint, by the way. You set the whole field on fire at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including our creature. Not a single popcorn reference at all. There
was no popcorn there.
I know.
No burnt kernels.
I was just waiting for like a pop.
Talk about that fucking ending. Like, dude, what the fuck was that? Where it absorbed into the sister. And then like,
you talking about the I want to be Carrie ending where she comes the next day and the cornfield's all fucking burnt and she's like, wow. And then up here is Eden, who had walked into the field is on fire, but all scarred up. And then, god damn it, the 5th time they did the CGI effect where it
was horrible.
The vines of the corn
come out of her mouth and it fill up the whole screen. Like, oh, dude.
That they use that shit like
that's
fucking
right.
5 times.
She says
and it sucked.
When the corn gets on fire. He walks behind the rows, walks up next to her, and she just looks up and says, "I'm sorry." And he's like, "Oh, I bet you coming, like you coming into the corn." And they merged. What the? How did that fucking happen? Is she now he who walks behind the rows? Is that what we're dealing with now? Explain the ending to me.
See, here's what sucks. This movie's so bad. There is an eye situation that happens. But this movie's such a fucking waste that I can't barely.
I thought the same thing. Like I'm like, oh, Hunter's got something right there. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even give a fuck.
You didn't give a fuck.
I didn't give a fuck.
And it's all CGI.
Yeah.
And you see her hold the eyes, but then it cuts back and like come on, man. You can go to fucking Spirit and do fucking better like makeup. And even if you're gonna go digital, man, it is. You know those shitty fucking things you see at like Walgreens that are like pretend like you have no eyes.
Yeah,
it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the dumbest looking shit. Because again, it's just sockets and just slight blood. No, gushing fucking blood. You just had both your eyeballs ripped out. They're not even trying.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even fucking trying.
Nope.
And then you have a moment where this one of the teenagers that's rebelling against the kids is like, "Nah, fuck this noise," and they take a Lumina bat and they hit him in the back and the front, and you're like, "Oh, that's gonna fuck shit up." But then it does a close up,
and there's nothing.
CGI fucking like his face is crushed in.
Yeah,
but it is
not real.
Stupid CGI.
No.
Like any fucking
nothing
practical effects.
Nothing.
Yeah, but I guess you know what? That makes it easier.
But the guy
for
choking
me.
was practical effects.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, like, and I guess the dirt going over the adults could have been practical.
Oh, yeah, when they made their own little death pit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Auschwitz, but in a cornfield, right? I don't know what the
You mean the one that they had the early warning of, the open grave, the kids were painting in blood earlier.
Yeah.
I get, yeah.
You know, and even the teenagers that were trying to stop them is it's so less interesting than when in the original, they turn on Isaac. See, it's a difference when you have the cult that is crazy turn on you versus teenagers trying to stop little children.
Yeah.
Oh, and I thought it was going to be a fucked up film at first, because remember at the beginning, they're all out at the water tower, and they're making this dude like walk the plank off the wall.
I thought he was going to fucking
I thought it was
die.
going to be fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Because he's on this giant, there's this giant pile of wood that they built up about 4 or 5 feet high. And Eden, the little girl, is just straight evil, because you think she's going to be like a actually good villain, because she's like, no, wait, set the pile on fire. So when he falls into the fire. Like, she's ready to do some fucked up shit to these kids. I mean, they're literally on top of a fucking water tower with this kid walking this 2x8, and there's a kid behind him with like this giant drill bit stabbing him repeatedly.
They're all brandishing weapons already.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Not a single. And again, the teenagers are like, this shit's fucked up, but they never do anything about it. They just talk about it, and we find out later on the other 2 teenagers besides the sister, they're fucking dead as shit.
Yeah,
because the kids are like, oh, y'all gonna try to stop us? We'll just kill you. You had the upper hand. Like, as the kids are like cheering, you just walk behind them. You're bigger than them. Fucking smack them on the head, grab their weapon, cut a couple throats, and say, I'm bigger than you, and I have the weapon. But for some reason, that's not something that happens in this movie.
I don't. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't. All right, folks.
Is there any reference to the Stephen King short story in this remake?
Corn
and children.
He walks behind the rose. Children. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about
it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, that's it.
What about character names? Is in the OG Isaac?
The OG is Isaac and Malachi and all that.
Is that in the book?
Yeah.
So there's no Eden.
Not that I remember.
Because Eden takes the place of Isaac in this. Yeah.
But like, and then are they trying to say Eden like Garden of Eden? Like, what the fuck are they even going with that? I don't know.
Ow, my head's hurting.
Yeah. All right.
About
All right. Folks, I know you already know what we think about it, but you're still going to hear what's happening in the GUI universe.
In a world with too many reboots and remakes,
2 men will stop at nothing to make it even worse.
join Like the Hobbit and Tondi as they play by their own rules while pitching new takes on some of your favorite and least favorite films and TV shows. What podcast would dare to bring this upon the world?
This is Smack My Pitch Up.
My name is Amy Bogard.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're going to fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
embrace the madness.
In a world of blockbuster movies, there's another dimension.
The dimension of schlock cinema. Join us at Beautiful Disasters on a journey into the fringe territory of B-movie abandon.
We review the flicks that are forgotten or underappreciated to give them a proper place in the annals of celluloid history.
I'm the Groots.
FU Hunter.
Your guides at Beautiful Disasters. Come along with us for a fun ride. May the schlock be with you.
All right, you make sure to check out all those shows. They're available everywhere you get your podcasts. And they're also available at GUIPodcast.com, where you can go to our links tab and click on our link to TeePublic and get all the merch for all the shows under the GUI network. Tons of tangential shit. Spooky season's here. We got the spooky season stuff up to the end of the year. Lots of stuff going on.
Get some spooky ass tote bags.
With the spooky stuff, we're probably up to almost 60 designs.
Yeah.
So tons of fun shit. We'd love to see you guys rocking it. We'd love to see you guys buy some and then tag us on the socials.
Fucking right.
We'd love to see people rocking the Madness Boys stuff. So, all right. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Fuck. It took me 3 sittings to watch a 90-minute movie.
I was so upset, and I messaged you that I fell asleep in the last 30 minutes. That was the hardest thing and I had to fast forward because it had played it all the way through. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, God, I've got to stop it at some point. I can't just leave it on fast forwarding and get to the credits. I went, I sort of don't remember this part. I guess play. That sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked is to have to go through it again just to get to the part that I passed out during so we could take a bullet for all you motherfuckers
Seriously.
and talk about this shit.
Please. Oh, God. We definitely drank arsenic for you motherfuckers watching this shit.
That
This
was
shit's
just-
terrible. So you never have, and like
I'll say
Hunter's
this.
lucky. Hunter's lucky because I searched for the 09 remake and we were going to make this one of our
Oh,
trifecta
man.
killer fillers that
would've
you
broke
guys
me.
know.
I think you would have broke me.
Because so this 2020 remake is rated 3.7 out of 10.
That high?
The 09 remake is rated 3.8. So the 09 remake was a sci-fi original rated PG-13 TV remake, kind of like Trucks.
Yeah.
So it would have been Trucks level, but Children of the Corn.
Probably they got that rating because maybe they used actual characters from the book. Maybe that's the little bit of bump. It's like, well, at least they had somebody named Malachi.
The 1/10. The 1/10.
They had Malachi in it? I don't know.
It was a little boy, so I'm assuming yes, it was that. But
I remember the cover of that. Yeah,
dude, like we could have been really angry.
I will say something positive for this over a remake that we covered last year. There's no animal torture that we see in this. We see the dead animals.
Yeah, we don't see the
but
torture.
unlike fucking Firestarter, at least there is no cat fucking torture
Dude,
in this.
there are so many shitty remakes that I would rewatch over this.
Yeah.
Like Gun to Head, pretty much all of them. Like I said, this is the reigning champ of ugliest remakes. We talked about Good and the Bad, the Ugly on remakes. This is the ugliest remake.
Yeah,
It's
this
fucking bad.
This is Fog, Poltergeist, like
Wrapped up and with a bow.
if
Fucking.
you need to get information from somebody, strap it to a chair.
If you
make 'em
don't
watch
like
this.
somebody,
yeah.
recommend this movie
What's
to
I'm
them.
saying? If you need information and
Yeah.
you got some duct tape, you're like,
Yeah.
all right, now you can tell me, or I'm gonna hit
Oh,
continue.
Yeah, we can Clockwork Orange your ass with
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Where it just plays on rotation, just
Yeah.
constantly. Oh yeah, yeah. All right, folks.
Yeah, that's right. It's a level of torturing somebody with this movie. Okay, it's pretty fucking bad.
That's it. As always, let us know what you think. lowdownbrown.gy@gmail.com. If for some fucking reason you like this movie, oh my god, I might have to. We might have to FaceTime so I can like look at you to see if you're serious or not.
Or send us a video.
Yeah, send us a
explaining.
video of you saying like, well, no, guys, this like
The
please
creature.
something.
I thought the creature looked pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
all right. And until we talk to you again, embrace the madness.
Join us at GUIPodcast.com.